They're going to bring the volume. A whole bunch of elementary school kids in the house to experience a little Baylor basketball as they host Norfolk State. And it will be the Baylor Bears to have the first possession as Obi Agbim will start the offense.
Man defense by Norfolk to start out. They do have some good size with those transfers. It's eight transfers, 2 freshmen added to the roster this season.
Yesufu up top in the hands of Skillings. He's been very consistent this season. Can't finish there. Rebound tracked down. And a 3-ball for Carr. Another offensive board. This time ripped away, though, by Elijah Jamison. You see the Norfolk State starting 5. This has been their 5 for the most part so far this year for head coach Robert Jones. One of the best mid-major coaches in the country. He's turned Norfolk State into a powerhouse in the MEAC. Won the conference title each of the last 2 years. 3-ball from McComb. This is way short.
You'll see a short bench for Baylor again today. 5 starters and probably 2 off the bench. Caden Powell, Isaac Williams will come off the bench. And for the most part, Mike, that's what we've seen from Baylor. That's where they are right now. J.J. White is still out with a broken foot.
The same starting 5 all 9 games this year for head coach Scott Drew. A brand new group. Not a single returner off of last year's roster. The tie couldn't finish inside. Here comes Ellis with a head of steam down the lane. Tried to adjust. Offensive board and the putback for the first points of the game for Keontae Lewis.
Lewis, a Wagner transfer. He's got some bulk down low. He's going to be a handful today.
He was terrific down the stretch in their last game against James Madison. Couple of big buckets to help them come back and cut the lead down to 1. Nice adjustment in the lane. And the bucket for Obi Agbim.
He's been really good for the Bears, running the point for the most part for Baylor. Transfer in. Of course, the Baylor roster, as you said, is completely new this year. Not a single point, not a single player back from last year's team.
Off the side of the stanchion, but another offensive board for Lewis. The putback won't go. Skillings draws the foul. It'll be a sideline inbound. Scott Drew, year number 23 at Baylor. Creeping up on 500 career wins, just 10 wins away from 500 overall. He had a 20-11 season at Valpo before coming to Baylor. Again, not a single returner on the roster this year. That is life in the new transfer portal.
Isn't it crazy? We just played Memphis. Baylor played Memphis on Saturday. They're another one of those teams that had 0 points, 0 players returning from last season.
Incredible. Yesufu with the cross-court feed. Carr has filled it up so far early on this season, and he's got his first points of the game.
Cameron Carr, 2nd in the Big 12, 5th in the nation in scoring, just under 22 points per game. Now, he is one guy who was here last year, actually transferred from Tennessee, but was redshirting last year. So he is the closest to a returning player that Baylor has.
He was at least a student here last year, which is what no one else can say. 27 points against a top 25 St. John's team a couple weeks ago. Doesn't matter who they're playing, he can fill it up. So can Ratai. He hits the triple.
Tell you what, he is really coming around shooting from 3-point range. Struggled early in the season with that, with the accuracy from 3-point, but he hit that shot. It's starting to find its mark.
McCombs will try to answer. Good battle for the offensive board by Lewis, but tracked down by Agbim. Up top, and the put down. Cameron Carr smacking the backboard.
How quick did that happen? Tunde sort of looked up, saw Carr right there. They made eye contact, I think. It happened really fast, ended up with a bucket.
A 9-0 Baylor run to take this 9-2 lead. Norfolk State trying to stop the bleeding here. Who cares if they didn't play together last year? They're already starting to develop that chemistry.
That's it.
Ellis able to find the bottom for Norfolk State. The Valpo transfer. Baylor 4 for 4 on their last 4 attempts, make it 5 for 5, and the foul for Skillings. Foley on the block in the MEAC over the course of his 13 years there. And they are testing themselves this season in the non-conference, traveling all over the place. Played number 2 Arizona a couple days ago. That's going to be a foul on the rebound. It's going to go against Keontae Lewis. So it's going to stay on this end as Skillings went chasing after. I beg your pardon, it's going to be a lane violation on Lewis. And Skillings will have one more shot at it.
We were watching close that it wasn't a lane violation on Skillings.
I thought it may have been. When the whistle blew, I thought that was the call that was coming.
Because he knew the shooter usually knows first if it's
exactly
good or
right.
not good. And he was chasing that loose ball as soon as it left his hands.
So a 12-4 tally in favor of Baylor. Swatted. Skillings coming soaring through to block the 3.
Shows the athleticism on the wings by a guy like Dan Skillings. Cameron Carr is the same way. They're a handful on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
Skillings again with his hands on the basketball. An active 90 seconds from the senior out of Blackwood, New Jersey, chasing after his offensive rebound, and now a couple of times getting his hands on the ball on the defensive end. Jamison buries the triple.
Jamison's 26% shooting threes on the year. Norfolk as a team, not great, 31%. That was great. Pull Norfolk State within 5.
Snap cam, the call from the Baylor bench as they set the offense here up 5 minutes in.
What do you think that is? Snap has to do with Cam, right?
It must, right?
Yeah.
He ends up with it. So. Blocked from behind, Lewis able to get a hand on it and reject the attempt from Caden Powell, who just checked into the basketball game. Lewis hounded underneath, able to body his way in. Can't finish high off the glass.
Good position for Skillings to get that rebound. 1 and done for Norfolk State.
Carr draws the foul, lots of contact.
By Jamison, pulled them within 12-7, and then the block shot underneath. Again, big Keontae Lewis checks in at 6'9", 260, senior from Richmond, Virginia.
That was one of the things that their head coach Robert Jones said earlier today. He said Baylor's not as big as the triple goes. Michael Ratai extending the lead back to 8. He said they're not as big as Arizona is, talking about Baylor. He says so there won't be any shell shock for our guys with the size. He felt like they could match up from that perspective, and obviously Keontae Lewis paramount in that matchup. Able to get that block, and he's been effective in the post already as well. Another corner 3, that'll go as well for Elijah Jamison, his second triple of the day.
Jamison liking the opportunities he's getting from beyond the arc. Couple of threes there. Michael Ratai for Baylor with 2 threes.
Jamison, the transfer from UNC Wilmington, played just 4 games with the Seahawks, but prior to that was with Milwaukee and was a key player. That one rattles in and out for Yesufu. Halfway down. Quickly up the floor comes Norfolk State, and good hesitation underneath to finish by Devon Ellis.
Got a couple of defenders off their feet, including Caden Powell. Powell off the Baylor bench. He's really the best size Baylor has off the bench in this game and for the foreseeable future.
Agbin able to track that one down. Norfolk State has trimmed an 8-point lead back down to 3. Ratai has the seize part in front of him, but can't finish. Good scramble for the loose ball, and Norfolk State comes away with it. And McComb draws the foul. Another look at Norfolk State on the run.
Great head fake, wasn't it? He got both Yesufu and Powell off their feet. And then he had the easy bank-in basket. Jones likes that. As the Spartans have pulled within 3 now, 15-12.
Devon Ellis, another example of the transfer portal and the way that it is working now in the collegiate game. Started his career at State Fair Community College, then a season at Maryland Eastern Shore, then Valparaiso, now Norfolk State. A complete circumnavigation of the globe during his collegiate career.
Well,
and another bucket for Ellis as well.
So it's a one-point game. We're about 7.5 minutes in. Norfolk State is unfazed. They play in a lot of big arenas. They played at Arizona this year. They're not going to be fazed by playing here in Foster Pavilion.
The tie gives it up for Carr. Down the baseline, the finger roll goes.
After a paint touch, they got the ball to the paint, and then whatever you do from there, if you kick it out, if you drive, Coach Drew talks about these paint touches, which is really big for the success of the Baylor offense.
Norfolk State 3 for 3 their last 3 trips down this end. Looking to extend that stretch as Adrian Newton has just checked into the game. He goes knifing down the lane. Nice feed underneath the pocket pass. And the flush for Jaquel Morris.
So back to a 1-point deficit for Norfolk State. Well played there.
This is a Spartans team that is used to playing in March and playing against teams of Baylor's caliber. That's usually their matchup in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Yesufu with a triple try, and he's got his first bucket of the day.
6 points today by the reigning Big 12 newcomer of the week, Tunde Yesufu. He's working that gum, and he's got his first 3 this afternoon.
This is an early wake-up call for everybody. Getting to the arena about 9 o'clock in the morning, an 11 a.m. tip. This is out of the ordinary as Newton finds the answer, cuts it back to a 2-point game. But this is early for everyone, so that's a factor, too, just in getting the juices flowing today.
Question.
The ties triple won't go. The offensive board and the putback. Caden Powell using his size.
Today by Caden Powell for the Bears. Really valuable down low. They don't need him to score a lot. Anything he scores is really a bonus.
Newton will try and do it all himself. Now leaves it off, and the lefty lane will go for Ellis. Norfolk State showing they've got some gumption here in the early going.
It's that combo again, Newton to Ellis, that worked a couple of trips previously down the floor.
Backdoor look! Cameron Carr, aggressive.
They got to right on the verge of 67 points.
Now, why would that be?
Well, I don't know, but I learned from these kids. 6'7" has real meaning to these elementary schools, and they just went crazy when Baylor hit 67. It was really fun to see.
It is probably in our future today, the way that they're scoring points today. Cool atmosphere in here, and a moment that these kids will certainly remember for a really long time, and may just get them hooked on the sport of basketball or on the Baylor Bears. That one's swatted from behind, and Yesufu's got a chance for showtime.
That'll excite the crowd even more. Tremendous block by Carr started the break. Yesufu shot out of a cannon and just rammed it home.
This is my first opportunity to see Tunde Yesufu in person, and when I saw people comparing him to Anthony Edwards, you recoil a little. Really? But he's got some serious athleticism.
Take a look at it. Here's Yesufu again. Watch the dunk. And then right into the camera. I tell you what, a freshman from the small African country of Benin.
Yes.
I had never heard of that country before learning about Tunde. But, man, he has come in and he is making an impact every game.
Played his high school ball at St. Joseph's High School in California. He played against some of the biggest high schools in the country in his high school career, routinely competing at a very, very high level with St. Joseph's. Norfolk State trying to find an answer, probing and finishing his McComb.
It's a nice move, just sort of back down Obi Agbum, then ended up getting close enough to bank it in. Pulls Norfolk State within 4.
That's his first bucket of the morning. Foul in the interior. So what we're seeing is a team that played any minutes last year. Triple try from the corner won't go. Tipped around, and Yesufu has another shot at it.
It's an offensive rebound. That's an area that Baylor takes a lot of pride in. They lead the Big 12. They are ninth in the nation in offensive rebounds per game. They average a little bit over 15 offensive boards per game.
Extends the lead to 6 at 28-22 as Jamison draws a foul on the floor. Yes, this Norfolk State team, only 2 players back that saw any time last Norfolk State. So they're reconstructing everything for Robert Jones as well.
And you were saying Baines not available today, right? One of 3 players that's out with the flu.
Yeah, they've got a flu bug making its way through the roster. They got 3 guys who didn't even make the trip. Mello Baines, Michael Jenkins, Makai Reed, all at home right now. McComb able to track that one down. 3 on the ticker. Gets the shot off, but gets it blocked. Isaac Williams with the swat. Here at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. If you're able, give now at v.org/donate. 100% of donations go directly to cancer research. It's around this time of year that we see so frequently the replay of Jimmy Valvano's iconic speech at the 1993 ESPYs. If you haven't seen it, because it's been a long time, we're talking 32 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's probably a lot of people in the audience who have, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you, go take the 10 to 15 minutes, whatever it was, go watch that. It is worth your time.
So impactful even all these years later. And the V Foundation just continues the work that was started by Jim Valvano, and certainly ESPN is a big part of that, but anything you can contribute is meaningful for cancer research.
Back to work here at Foster Pavilion, an 6-point lead rather for Baylor. Looking at the back door, and again it's Cameron Carr with the alley-oop. Now it's an 8-point lead for the Baylor Bears. Carr doing some serious work on the back door this morning.
I think from 3 different teammates, right? Those alley-oops from 3 different guys.
The cohesion is really starting to pop for Scott Drew's team. Down to 10 on the shot clock as Baylor cranked up some full court pressure there. Eating up some of the time for Norfolk State. The feed underneath, he was open, was Keontae Lewis. It was tipped out of bounds. It'll stay on this end.
Here's another look at it. This is Obi Agbum on the assist to Cameron Carr. I mean, you just throw it up there in the vicinity of the square, and Cam Carr is going to go get it and flush it down.
Carr 5 of 6 from the floor, 10 points here in this first half. Down to 1. Barely getting the shot off. It is a shot clock violation. That did not catch iron. That is Baylor basketball.
So technically that is a turnover, right?
First.
That's it. First.
And yet here they are playing some really clean basketball. Again, an 11 a.m. tip where right. Everybody's still trying to wake up, and yet still they're being secure with the basketball.
8-point lead equals the biggest of the first half by Baylor.
A couple of different junctures now that they have led by 8, at least 3 if memory serves. But they haven't been able to extend it larger than that. Can they here as Williams knifes inside, and here's Norfolk State with a takeaway. And then another turnover. We get 3 in about 45 seconds. Stepping on the sideline is Adrian Newton, and they give it right back.
Well, that was a drive into the paint, and the ball just ripped out of Isaac Williams' hands by Jordan Leaks. I mean, he just took the ball away from him. So that would be Baylor's first turnover of the first half.
Now perhaps another.
Now 2. We'll quit talking about the turnovers now.
Leaks with the rip and draws the foul. And he'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Coach Drew's message to his team every game is 11 or fewer turnovers. That's their goal. He's happy with fewer than that, but no more than 11 is what they shoot for every game.
Quick hands from Jordan Leaks. The redshirt sophomore didn't play a ton a year ago, but has become one of the regulars in the starting lineup this year for Robert Jones. Mentioned earlier, Norfolk State, the preseason favorite to win the MEAC. largely just on the strength of because they always do, because nobody really knew a whole heck of a lot about the guys that they had that would comprise the roster this year with so many transfers and newcomers. But everybody in the MEAC knows Robert Jones is going to figure something out, and Jordan Leaks has been a part of that so far. Free throw shooting has been an issue for Norfolk State early on this season. A 1-for-2 trip for Leaks that time, and he cuts the lead to 7.
Yeah, to the tune of 63% as a team for Norfolk State. That's very near the bottom of the NCAA as far as a team free throw percentage.
And in particular, in crunch time, they struggled mightily against James Madison in what was a 68-67 loss just the other day. 3 ball on the left side will fall. Obi Agbum makes it a 10-point game.
The delight of the 3,000-plus elementary school kids that are here. You know, I wonder if the kids are confused. They come to cheer for the green and gold. That's Baylor. Well, it's the green and gold of Norfolk State today also, right?
That was one of the things Robert Jones said earlier today, talking about playing in front of a crowd like this. He said, we've done it a couple of times. We've played on these education days, as he called them. And he said a lot of times it can lead to energy for both teams because the kids don't know. They just, hey, the ball went in the basket. They get loud, so they get cheering. He said, maybe it'll give us some energy too today.
There is a lot of energy in the building. Some of those kids invited to the game by Baylor Athletics and Baylor basketball. The count was 3,200 plus yesterday for the women's game.
Okay.
It'll be about the same. Might even be more for this game today.
Yeah. Pretty full up here in the 7,500 seat capacity Foster Pavilion. Largest lead of the game now 10 for the Baylor Bears. They look to extend it here, tie with the corner 3.
That was unselfish basketball there. The shot didn't go, but it was good shot, better shot, best shot.
Yeah.
Had an open look from the corner. It didn't go, but that really shows how Baylor's sharing the ball well. 10-point lead for the Bears, 5-minute mark in the first half. Biggest lead of the first half by Baylor. Four-minute scoring drought for the Spartans.
Jamison trying to end that, and he does. Elijah Jamison now leading the way for Norfolk State with 8 points on the morning. Agbim, triple try.
A couple of threes missed by Baylor each of the last 2 times down the floor.
Jamison missed, but the rip by Leaks, and he'll lay it in. Took it right away from Yesufu.
Yeah, that's not going to happen very often. I think Tunde's really strong. He's got strong hands. He just sort of snuck in and got that ball and got the bucket.
Nice move down the lane. Won't go, though. Won't roll home for Isaac Williams. Norfolk State a chance to cut it even smaller. Down to 6 now. Leaks. The pump fake and the blow by. It won't fall. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans.
In these days where you're trying to find revenue under every rock.
Yes. Former basketball manager, the proverbial started in the mailroom kind of story.
Right,
and now here he is as the athletic director for Baylor University. His team with a 6-point lead here late first half on their home floor. Yesufu got tangled up, finds cross court. Skillings for the triple. Back iron and the rebound down to Ellis. Norfolk State, 4 straight points, looking to add to it, out of control, and that's a block. Somewhat surprisingly, Skillings called for the foul.
Thought he was set. Maybe we can get a replay and look at it. Tough call, man, when they're going full speed like that, isn't it?
A lot of times you'll see a player like Jamison, as out of control as he was, not get the benefit of the doubt and be called for an offensive foul in that spot. It was bang bang, it was very close. But it goes against Skillings. And it's a baseline inbound for the Spartans. McComb, a somewhat quiet first half. Kicks it up top for Leaks for three. McComb just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting so far today. Lewis tips that one out of bounds.
Yeah, McComb not really looking for his shot. He's their leading scorer, 16.2 points per game. But like you said, he's only had 4 attempts so far, only 2 points. Has to be a focal point when you think about the scout when you play against Norfolk State.
Nice rebound underneath. Trapped, able to get it away to Skillings, but then ripped from behind by Leaks, and he'll look to run 1-on-2 and finishes. And had a little something to say about it afterward. He's going to get teed up because of it.
He sure did.
Jordan Leaks was fired up and got right in the face of Baylor's Obi Agbim after laying it in.
There's another look. He gets the bucket, and then he has to let Agbim know that he had the bucket, and that'll cost him a technical.
That's one that looks like, I'm inclined to say that's a technical in December. It's not a technical in March.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
yeah.
Higher stakes game, something like it didn't seem egregious. He was definitely trash talking. There's no question about that. Higher stakes game, maybe the officials let that one go in December. Hey, let's just nip this in the bud right now. Free throw for Agbim falls.
And to his credit, Robert Jones, he didn't complain one bit about it. And actually, Leaks kind of slunk his shoulders a little bit too. He knew he hadn't, you know, he knew he shouldn't have done that.
He'll head to the bench for a moment as a punishment. Robert Jones getting a little explanation, but nothing more needed.
Free throws by Baylor. Just 3 free throws in the first half by Baylor, 2 by Norfolk State. So there haven't been many trips to the line at all.
I feel like that's one where Robert Jones may be inclined to run across the official during halftime and say, hey, thanks.
Yeah, good point. Right.
Well, let us learn right now in December where it's not a game that's going to impact our standing in the conference. Drawing the foul is Caden Powell, and he'll head to the free throw line. Pretty good swipe at the basketball there from Dean right forward.
Caden Powell, 60% on the year. Baylor as a team, 74% as he misses the first one here.
Here's Doug McNamee.
Talking about Doug, Baylor's new vice president and director of athletics. And we're going to say Dr. Lacey McNamee right next to him, former Baylor professor.
Yes, indeed.
2 beautiful daughters, and gosh, it's just so great to have Doug back at Baylor as the athletic director.
A 1-for-2 trip from Caden Powell, and it's a 7-point lead for the Baylor Bears. They've led by as much as 10 in this first half, but Norfolk State has done a nice job of staying in touch in this basketball game. An important final 2 minutes of the half here, though, and a steal by Skillings, right on cue, and I think he tried to lay it off the backboard thinking he had somebody following, and Cameron Carr's gonna bail him out, lays it in plus the foul. Big smile across Dan Skillings' face because he knows he got away with one there.
First thought was, oh, that's a bad layup. But it was so bad, it was obviously an assist trying to get it to Cam Carr, and Carr was there for the finish.
Another look at it here. He thought for sure he had a teammate coming right behind. And I guess on some level he did.
He did, yeah, he did.
Just a step and a half later than he expected.
Now, if you're the official scorer, do you score that as an assist? It's not a missed shot, right? I mean, the intent was there as an assist.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the way it goes to book.
And with that, it is back to a 10-point advantage for Baylor. Cameron Carr, no surprise, leading the way, 13 points in this first half. Yesufu and Agbim both with 7.
Carr is 6 of 7 from the floor also. That's really good to see. He had an off shooting game in the loss to Memphis on Saturday.
Ellis trying to work his way to the post, a fadeaway, tough shot, and an offensive foul on the backside on the rebound. Well, Morris a little too physical underneath.
Just a 1 rebound difference between the two. See if that changes over the course of the game. Remember, at this point, 1 rebound difference between these two teams.
A 10-point advantage, though, and a chance here for Powell as they are now in the bonus to add to the advantage. Hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
Caden Powell's a great story. His mom works at the Baylor Law School. He went to Midway High School here in Waco, and then went away to Wyoming first and then Rice. And now as a grad transfer, he's back at Baylor. And it's just so perfect to have him back here in his hometown in a Baylor uniform.
I was frankly kind of surprised by the note that he's the first scholarship player from Waco, Texas in the Scott Drew era. I couldn't imagine how that could be possible.
Interesting.
But he is from Midway High School just down the way. An 8-0 Baylor run, and it's now a 12-point advantage, largest lead of the basketball game. Jamison, tough finish up and under, using the glass and using the rim to shield himself from the defense. Agbin, corner 3. Yes, indeed.
Agbin's second made 3 in the game today. He's got 10 points in the first half. And the Baylor lead is at 13 with a minute to play in the first half.
Robert Jones wants to talk out of the timeout. 50.7 on the ticker, 22 on the shot clock. And they'll get Williams bodying up Jamison.
Well, I don't know if Jamison didn't extend his arm a little bit. Sometimes that's the difference in if it's an offensive foul or a defensive foul. It looked like he kind of extended that right arm, but the foul went against Isaac Williams. His first.
20 now on the shot clock for Norfolk State. McComb rejects the screen. Gets himself tangled up. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it off for Morris. Down to 6. Jamison, tough shot. No chance. And Baylor can hold for the final shot.
Plenty of time to set up, work a play, hopefully get the final shot of the half from a Baylor perspective and increase that lead from 13 going in at halftime.
Agbin with 10 seconds in the half. Corner 3 will fall, rattles home for Isaac Williams. And a brilliant finish to the half for the Baylor Bears as they build the lead to 16.
The backboard to Cam.
Certainly was his intent, so that makes sense. Nice set here right out of the start of the half, but the bucket won't go for Lewis. They drew that up just as Robert Jones would have wanted. Everything but the finish. That's travel. Yesufu got tangled up with where he was going to go with that basketball and hopped with it.
Turnover number 4 on the day by Baylor. Certainly a number you can live with if you keep in that same range.
How does Norfolk State pull their way back into this one right now?
You know, you would think maybe 3-point shooting. That sometimes helps you catch up, but they don't shoot a lot of threes, like you said, and they didn't shoot that many in the first half. I don't know. I don't know what they can do much better than they did in the first half.
The few turnovers they did have in the first half, as Jamison misses that one, did lead to a couple of opportunities for Baylor to add to that lead. And that 14-2 run that did finish the half, that's a triple for Agbin. And the lead grows to 19.
His third made 3 today for Obi Agbin, 13 on the afternoon.
Baylor and Norfolk State that were locked in a pretty tight battle for the first 16, 17 minutes of this game. Baylor has very quickly put their foot on the gas, and Norfolk State has not been able to match that level. Yesufu with the erasure. but getting it back, that won't go either for McComb. And he has been quiet. That's maybe the one area where Norfolk State could have played better in that first half. And again, Cameron Carr with the flush and a timeout for Robert Jones.
5 on the day, that's a season high. And we've got 18 minutes to play.
Still a lot of time to add to that tally. 4 dunks from Carl, 1 from Yesufu. And Baylor has built the lead up over 20. Now a steal here by Skillings. Good hands. Then ripped from behind, though, by Leaks.
The teams trade turnovers there. Norfolk with the ball, looking for their first points of the second half, and there they are.
Nice up and under from Elijah Jamison, who continues to pace the offense for Norfolk State. Up to a dozen now on the day. Ellis with 8, their second leading scorer. Anthony McComb coming in, averaging 16.2 a game, just 1 of 7 from the floor, only 2 points. That's really the one kind of gap in Norfolk State's attack so far today. Yeah. And part of why perhaps Baylor has been able to build this lead. Agban going to try another 3. That one misses long. If they could get McComb hot, perhaps that could spark a bit of a comeback. Ellis will try a 3. Yesufu attacking the rebound, but knocked it out of bounds.
2 points total. And he's their leading rebounder as well, and he's got 3.
Stuck in the corner. The inbound pass comes all the way out to McComb, who's going to draw the foul. Hit hard.
Now it's going to be on Obi Agban. That is his second of the day.
Give him somewhere to land, and that's why Agban gets called for the foul. McComb is the one player on the roster who is a 3-point shooter, hitting at about 40% this season. It's about 2 of every 5 per game. That one's short-armed by Jamison, and here comes Baylor on the run. The tie got popped on the head, and he's down after drawing that foul.
That was nice. Kind of got slapped in the face, didn't he?
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, definitely an attempt to get the basketball, but Ravon Ellis, the offending party, missed the basketball and caught Michael Ratai square in the face. Ratai able to shake it off and bury the free throw.
Ratai played for the German national team in the World University Games this summer. Baylor was there as Team USA, but they were playing against, they didn't play a game against Germany, but Ratai was on that German team over there. It's a really good experience for a Baylor team, needing some time together, needing experience to play 6 games, spend 2 weeks together in Germany over the summer.
Ratai had a really nice run at Oregon State over the course of 3 seasons. Averaged 16.9 points per game a year ago for the Beavers. Ellis gets it blocked. Right down the lane for Powell. All 6'9", 224 right at the rim.
Happy birthday, Caden Powell. It was yesterday, and man, did he explode for that dunk on the breakaway.
Nice finish high off the glass to answer for Jordan Leaks and bring it back to 20. The 22-point advantage a moment ago for Baylor, the largest lead of the day. Defense into offense. The block by Isaac Williams leading to the dunk for Caden Powell.
Leaks limps off the floor for Norfolk State. He's going to go to the far end of the bench and get some treatment down there. Was he the guy who took that hard fall to the floor?
That was McComb.
That was McComb. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he is kind of holding his back.
Yeah, he is.
4,000 elementary school students chanting, "Let's go Baylor," as the putback rattles home for Caden Powell. 2 more for the big center out of Waco.
In the right spot, the offensive rebound and the putback by Caden Powell.
Newton will try a three. That'll fall. Stops the bleeding momentarily for Norfolk State and cuts it back to a 19-point game. Powell now up to 9 points on the day. 5 rebounds as well.
Norfolk State now 3 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc.
Yesufu draws the foul on Ellis with the pump fake. 57-38, Baylor with the lead. One more look at Caden Powell coming right into your living room.
Thunderous dunk to end the break. 9 on the day for the senior, Caden Powell.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can guest
The basketball team as they get ready for Big 12 play right around the corner.
These December games are really important, trying to get the work done, get that chemistry established. Whoa, Caden Powell. Have a day, Caden Powell.
The chemistry.
But playing against a good team like Norfolk State, it's very important. And then you're going to go into a 9-day break now for finals also. So you really want to take advantage of the opportunity today, and so far they have.
Certainly a spot where you want to create some good vibes and feel good during that 9-day layoff. Feel like you are making that progress, and a lot of reason for Scott Drew's team to feel like they are right now. Good defense inside by Powell.
Spartans will have an 8-day break themselves. They won't play again until they play Grambling on the 18th in Atlanta.
Back-to-back days, 18th and 19th, both their games on ESPNU. Nice look underneath. Powell has a block this time by Lewis. It'll stay on this end, and it will be a foul on Lewis.
Caden Powell looks like he's really looking for his shot more today. He's had some opportunities. His teammates have found him, and Caden Powell has really delivered. He's sitting on 11 points right now. 11 points and 6 rebounds.
That is foul number 3 of the day on Keontae Lewis, the big transfer out of Wagner that is so instrumental to what Norfolk State does on the offensive end. And he'll take a seat correspondingly to Quell Morris, the senior out of Brooklyn, New York, coming on in his place. Powell's free throw rattles off on him. He's stuck on a dozen, which matches his season high. Nice move by Ellis. Had it blocked, it nearly still went in. Powell, I think, will get credit for the block on that. He did get a piece of it, and now Williams knifing down the lane for the lay-in.
He is so quick. They just couldn't get back in time to stop Isaac Williams from the lay-in.
The lead has grown to 24 for the Baylor Bears. Firm control for Scott Drew's team here on their home floor. Ellis, good finish.
That's a tough shot. Ellis with 2.
He's up to 10 on the day. Baylor's made their last 3. Yesufu can't quite make it 4 of 4. Jamison right down the floor. The up and under from McComb won't go, but he draws the foul. Well, still just with 2 points on the day.
Yeah, and I was going to say his rough day continues, although he'll get a couple of free throws here. His first trip to the line. Only 2 points, 1 of 7 shooting, averages 16 a game. Third leading scorer in the MEAC with 16.2 points per game.
It can do a shooter some good to see one go through the hoop. And he gets to see one fall there. He had a 40% three-point shooter. McComb's getting hot would be the quickest pathway between Norfolk State, between here and getting back in this basketball game. He cuts it back to a 20-point advantage for Baylor with just under 13 minutes to play.
That tipped ball last time down was credited a block, so 6 blocks on the day by Baylor as a team. That ties their season high in a game.
Deep three from Carr, misses short. Good rebound by Jordan Leaks, and he'll look to run. McComb, maybe feeling it now, draws another foul.
Yeah, maybe you're right. He sees a free throw go through, and
yeah,
he feels better about things. You know, that was a deep three by Cam Carr, but it wasn't out of his range at all. He's got that kind of range.
So now here's a puzzling one for you. Anthony McComb, listed as Anthony McComb on the roster, listed as Anthony McComb on the stat sheet, listed as Anthony McComb on the Norfolk State University game notes.
I know where you're
going. The
going.
back of his jersey says McCombs. I'm not sure which one is right.
I know, that's true.
I just saw that when he was at the free throw line a moment ago, and I'm going, wait a second, I've been calling him McComb all game long. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, everything we have written down says McComb, singular.
4 for 4 at the free throw line on these last 2 trips for McCombs, and he's cut it down to an 18-point game. Nice rebound on the putback from Dan Skillings.
And Skillings not scoring a lot today. That gives him 5 points.
And Skillings with the rip. Showtime.
Make it 7.
7 dunks on the day, and he celebrates. Make it 8 dunks on the day, I'm told.
All right, Baylor sitting at 66 points. You know what that means.
Oh boy,
these kids
they need
are getting
a free
excited.
Throw.
Right.
all the kids have one finger in the air. Give us one more point. One more point. Baylor's going to have to get called for a foul for this to happen.
Wow, another block.
Yesufu. Oh no. Oh no. The worst thing that has happened this morning in Waco. Baylor scoots right past 67. Layup from McComb makes it 68-46, as he's now scored the last 6 points for Norfolk State.
McComb is on a roll himself there.
Backdoor look. Yesufu thought about the alley-oop. Just settles down and dunks it. Make it 9 finishes on the day for Baylor at the 10. And the lead is back to 24, 70-46. The Baylor Bears working on win number 7 of the season. Up big on Norfolk. In his statement, he said that he and Whitney decided that he needs to focus on his personal health, and certainly just hope for all the best for him and his family, as that is swatted by Cameron Carr. Agdon nearly able to track it down on the sideline, but it will stay Norfolk State basketball.
How about Carr on the team, on the season? He's the block leader for Baylor. You can see why in plays like this.
Looking for the pocket pass from McComb. It's tipped away, a steal, and now a foul on Norfolk State. A little frustration foul from Jaquel Morris after he was the one who turned the
Team foul number 4 on Norfolk State here in the second half. The enthusiasm from these school kids has not dampened one bit.
No, forget the score. Another backdoor look. Oh, Yesufu couldn't quite catch it. Agdon put that one up in the rafters.
Couldn't quite haul it in to bring it down. Just a little bit too tall on that alley-oop.
Obi Agdon went back down floor tapping his chest, saying that was on him, just a little too high. McComb, 18-footer. Misses front iron. We did look it up during the commercial break. It is McComb. It must just be a typo on his jersey. But you don't see that very often. Caden Powell, another finish inside. He continues a very nice morning/afternoon, and now he does have his season high. That is a 4th foul on Keontae Lewis. And Powell will look to finish off a 3-point play.
Got 14 points, going for 15 at the free throw line. Again, looking for a shot more, and his teammates are looking for him more in this game today.
And there it is, now a season high, 15 points for the senior out of Waco, and now steal. Agbim takes it away, up ahead. Oh my! Cameron Carr with the thunder.
Well, things getting a little loose here. Would say late in the game, but we still have 10 minutes to play. But man, Baylor is really showing their athleticism, showing all the arrows in their quiver.
Yet another look at this one.
Wow. So Tunde Yesufu won a prestigious slam dunk contest over the summer, and he may not be the best dunker on this team.
Jamison hits the free throw after he drew the foul. 10 dunks now on the day for the Baylor Bears. They have been undeterred by the early start. The Springs are working just fine on this Wednesday morning and early afternoon. One for two for Jamison, and it stays at a 28-point advantage for the Baylor Bears. Yesufu, tough step back, and hit it.
Not an easy shot. Yesufu knocked it down.
There's a reason why the NBA scouts are all over this kid. And you got the athleticism that he's got, and then the ability to make a play like that and knock it down. Bright future for the 6'5" freshman.
There's several scouts that have found their way to Waco for this early morning tip. Earlier than normal tip.
Shot waved off, a foul on the floor away from Elijah Jamison.
Going to be on Tunde Yesufu, away from the ball. He'll go to the bench.
That's his third.
Right now, 13 points of 10 shooting by Tunde Yesufu, the reigning Big 12 newcomer of the week.
1 of 4 Baylor Bears in double figures now. Agbim, Carr, and Powell all filling it up today. Carr get a piece of that one as well. It went off the side of the stanchion too. Oh, and that pass is wide of its target from Isaac Williams.
That 4 players in double figure scoring. It's been that way game but 1 this year for Baylor. At least 4 double figures. So short bench, you might expect that, but they really have had very balanced scoring through every game.
Ty with 7, Skillings with 7, Williams with 5, the other 3 that have played today for Baylor, all with a chance, perhaps in these last 8.5 minutes, to add to the tally. The steal by Agbim. He'll take it himself.
Wow. Like he had stickum on his hands on that pass.
Baylor has ratcheted up the defensive intensity and created some turnovers here in the second half. Norfolk State now up to 9 on the day. Nearly another there. Quick hands in the passing lanes and the athleticism on display as well today for Baylor. In addition to 10 dunks that we've talked about, 10 block shots as well. Jamison could have gotten called for a travel. They said that the ball got knocked out of his hand and he's able to finish. A 30-point lead for the Baylor Bears on their home floor. And another foul drawn by Carr underneath. It is all bad
during the giving season that is Christmas.
Yeah. It's a perfect time of year to just try and help however you can. And this is a great way to do so. 30-point lead for Baylor. Cameron Carr gets called for the travel. Hey, for the Baylor Bears, they've been pretty tidy with the basketball.
That's very nice. Also, Mike, they're sitting on 20 assists on the day. Baylor 20 assists on 31 made baskets. The season high is 21 assists for Baylor.
That came against Tarleton State back in November. A chance to meet or exceed that with still an awful lot of time left on the clock. Leaks dances his way into a triple, misses short. Skillings made a nice play to get that ball away to Obi Agwin before stepping out of bounds. We're tied, a lot of contact, no whistle. Still no whistle. Wow, contact everywhere. Bodies spilling on the floor. Adrian Newton right down the lane, that draws a foul.
So letting it play a little bit here late in the game. Baylor a 30-point lead. There's still a long way to go. I mean, we're just under 7 minutes to play in this game.
Feels like an eternity still left.
Right. But at the other end, there could have been a couple of different fouls called possibly that weren't. This one was pretty obvious, putting Newton at the line.
Randy McCall, Brett Smith, Keith Patterson are 3 officials today.
So Norfolk State, not a real good free throw shooting team, 63% on the year. First miss by Newton, he's got another one coming. Back-to-back misses. Normally, if the Baylor students were here, that would be free cupcakes from Magnolia on back-to-back missed free throws by the opponent.
Norfolk State falls to 6-10 at the free throw line today. Nice rebound by Skillings underneath. Couldn't quite finish, but draws the foul.
Again, so athletic to get the rebound, the head fake, and then go up with the shot and earn the 2 free throws.
Baylor's got a lot of athleticism on this roster, not a ton of size. Caden Powell listed as a center. The only one of their 7, or if you add J.J. White when he gets back healthy, 8 players that they have in the rotation that isn't listed on the roster as a guard.
That's right.
Everybody else is listed as a guard. Now you could quibble with Michael Ratai. I think he's more of a forward in actuality, but listed on the roster as a guard. Skillings, Yesufu, Cameron Carr, Obi Agwin, Williams, all listed as guards. The rest of them all feel more like guards than Ratai does.
Well, and you hear the term positionless basketball.
Right.
I think that's pretty accurate.
That's where we are, yeah.
2 free throws by Skillings.
The lead at 32 now for Baylor. They seized control of this game late in the first half and never let it go. Foul on Carr.
And it's Jamison at the line. Spartans average just under 79 points per game, so they're used to putting up some points. Sitting at 50 right now with 6:26 remaining.
They felt like coming into today that they could just as easily be 9-1 instead of 4-6. Their losses, with the exception of the loss at a very, very talented Arizona team where they lost by 37. Lost by 3 to William and Mary, lost by 3 at Old Dominion, lost by 10 at Towson 51-41, lost by 8 at Wyoming, lost by just 1 their last time out against James Madison. They've had a number of close losses, and their head coach Robert Jones said, we're pretty bad at the free throw line, and I'm paraphrasing and saying it that way. If it were just a little different at the free throw line for them, they could have a good handful more wins than what they come into here with this 4-6 record.
Turnover Bears, and the Spartans have the ball back. 30-point difference at 81-51.
And a foul called on the handoff. Adrian Newton's going to get called for an offensive foul as he tried to screen Cameron Carr.
Just got to give Carr a steal there, right? If you're going to call a foul. Yeah, maybe the foul happened before the steal.
It's borderline, the turnover all the same, in some form or fashion. Adrian Newton's second turnover of the day. And Baylor goes to work on trying to build on their 30-point lead. Yesufu with the offensive board, the putback won't go.
couple of misses, point blank range for Tunde Yesufu.
Agbem has his hands in the passing lane, does finally get the steal. Showtime, Yesufu throws it down.
It's another assist to another alley-oop bucket. Assists now on the day, a season high for the Bears.
Perhaps a chance to add to it. In and out, but the putback for Cameron Carr. Baylor just winning on athleticism today.
19 on the day by Carr, averages just under 22 per game. This game kind of played out like Coach Jones told you.
Yes.
He remembered about last year's game, right?
Yeah, he said he felt like we were in touch, in the basketball game for the first half, and once Baylor flipped the switch, we weren't able to correspondingly flip the switch with them. Today has felt very, very similar. As another lay-in there for the Baylor Bears adds to the lead, now a 36-point advantage. Once Baylor flipped the switch, this thing was over.
Obi Agbem with the steal on the perimeter. He's going to spot Yesufu for the lay-in. Now Cam Carr on the miss. Offensive rebound and put back flush. Yeah, you're right. Athleticism really showing itself for the Bears.
4 blocks for Cameron Carr himself. First time in over a year that a Baylor Bear has had 4 blocks in a game. Eves Missy against Iowa State back in February of 2024. The last time that happened for a Baylor Bear.
That's saying a lot if you put him in a category with Eve Missy. Rebound, Agbem, he pulled it away.
I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen Scott Drew go deeper in the bench now. He's stuck with that 7-man rotation so far.
Right.
Perhaps in the final 4 minutes, maybe he'll get a couple more guys on the floor as Agbem tries another 3. Obi Agbem filling it up today. His 4th triple, and he's up to 18 points.
Really nice day by Obi. He's been, he comes set. He's been completely under control on those 3-pointers. There was one of them I think he missed that he was a little bit off balance. But a big day for Obi Agbem. Just continue to build on that. Only the 2nd game this year, Baylor's had 4 players at 15 or more points, not just double digits.
Home with a nice steal. Draws another foul. He's done most of his damage today at the free throw line. And a chance to add to that. Came in averaging 16.2 points per game. Give you another look at McComb knifing into the passing lane.
That is curious about his jersey, isn't it? The name on his jersey.
You don't see a typo on a jersey very often. We have double-checked about every source we can find, including his own Twitter account.
Right.
It's McComb ending in a B, and yet the S somehow snuck in there on the jersey.
Who's the proofreader for the jerseys? Ty Beard would not let that happen with a Baylor jersey.
He's on 10 points now on the day, 6 of them coming from the free throw line.
That's a hard-earned 10 points.
He is 6 for 6, has 6 of their 10 made free throws today. Yesufu. Another offensive board for the freshman. The tie off the bounce, gives it up for Yesufu. That one won't go. Loose on the deck. Somehow he came out of there with it and draws the foul.
Wow. That is working hard on the glass in a blowout game in the latter stages. Look how hard he's playing down there.
This is a 5-star kid coming out of California, likely to be an NBA draft pick next spring, scrapping against Norfolk State with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in a 37-point game.
That's right.
That's awesome. And pays it off with the free throw. I know they say if you've got to coach effort, you've got a problem, but if you ever need to coach effort, all Scott Drew's got to do is call up that clip.
Good free throw shooting day, really, for both teams. Baylor now 14 of 17 shooting free throws. Better than normal free throw shooting day for Norfolk State.
Yeah, 10 of 14. That's growth for Robert Jones' team. McComb able to lay it in just past the outstretched hands of Yesufu. Now a steal. And the reverse lay-in for Jordan Leaks. Norfolk State working on the pressure here. Able to pay it off with a couple of turnovers. Yesufu, baseline, up and under, right into the bottom of the stanchion. McComb, been feeling it more in this second half, draws another foul.
So Coach Drew is going to his bench. He's going to bring on a couple of guys who played most recently in the Sacramento State win. Will Kirkendall is going to come on. He's an Arizona transfer. And Drew Perry will come on for the Bears. And that is about as deep as they can go on the bench.
Yeah.
A couple other guys that are redshirting this year, a couple others that are injured. But fun to see these guys who work so hard in practice get some minutes on the floor. Baylor nears 100 points on the afternoon.
Obi Agdon, Tunde Yesufu get to take a seat for the final 2:42 of this one. As McComb makes his 8th free throw of the second half, and suddenly he's up to 14 points on the day. The tie gives it up to Williams, and Baylor's able to break the pressure. The tie gets it back and lays it in. Nice assist. Michael Ratai doing it 94 feet on that one. Started the press break and finishes it off with the layup. Jamison had a nice first half, gives it up to McComb, who's been a lot of the offense in the second half. The three won't go. And Isaac Williams will push tempo. Tried to leave it. Ends up in the hands of Powell, who draws the foul on the floor.
You better believe when guys like Drew Perry and Will Kirkendall get on the floor, their teammates are trying to get them a shot.
That's exactly right.
They're going to trying to get them some points.
So Caden Powell to the free throw line to shoot 2. Already on a season-high 15 points, a chance to add to it. If they could get a bucket from Michael Ratai here in the waning moments, that would put him into double figures and give the Bears 6 in that category. But yes, I think most of the attention and effort will go to Kirkendall and Perry and trying to get one of them on the score sheet. 1 of 2 trip and a 36-point lead for Baylor with 2 minutes to play. Ellis works his way into a double team. Cross court for Leaks for 3. Baylor basketball. So Baylor will improve to 7-2 on the year. Norfolk State will fall to 4-7. Of their 11 games, only 2 have been lopsided like this. The loss to Arizona, and now what will be this loss to Baylor. Otherwise, they've been in every game they've played. Williams crashing right through Leaks, who thought he had drawn an offensive foul. That one won't go for Kirkendall. Had an opportunity at it, sent it over top of the rim. Leaks has it blocked, but a foul. Michael Ratai can't believe that he was called for a foul.
See if we can get another look at that. He thought it was a clean block.
Yeah.
They're throwing a block party today here in the Boston Pavilion. Here's another look. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of verticality to how he jumped. It didn't seem like he created the contact. It was certainly clean up top at the point where he blocked the basketball. Leaks misses long with the free throw. A 1-for-2 trick, and Norfolk State's got 60. Back to the pressure here for the Spartans, trying to work on some things late in this game. Ratai tried to go the length of the floor and draws the foul.
Kind of had his mind made up. He was going to take that all the way.
6'8" point guard Michael Ratai crashing down the lane. And he'll have a chance to put himself in double figures here at the free throw line.
With the foul, Lewis has fouled out. He'll take a seat with 1:20 to play.
Deontay Lewis with just 2 points on the day. Not the afternoon he was hoping for. And there it is, Ratai in double figures with 10.
So as you said, 6 Baylor players in double figure scoring. Last time that happened was against Sacramento State.
8 days ago.
Yeah.
Ratai makes another, and he's got 11.
What a fun day to bring all these elementary school students into Foster Pavilion. I think it's good for the teachers and administrators to have a field trip here in December. But a fun atmosphere, and great that Baylor can work with all the elementary schools in Waco in the Central Texas area to give them an outing that, like you said, hopefully they won't ever forget.
Yeah. Makes a nice, easy day, hopefully, for the teachers and the administrators.
Right.
They can just let them watch a basketball game and have maybe a half day off, if you will.
And the kids brought the energy. No question about it. There was one group that was here, probably one busload that was here at 9 a.m. this morning. The game was 11, and they were here, and you could hear them at 9 a.m.
Yeah, they filled up this section right over here,
right,
and they were cheering on warm-ups an hour and a half, 2 hours before tip. An 0 for 2 trip at the free throw line there for Ellis. And that free throw percentage for Norfolk State starting to resemble where it was coming into the day. It will stay Norfolk State basketball. McComb draws another foul. This one will go on Kirkendall.
Well, might be better served to avoid fouls here late, but it is what it is with 1:02 to go. Baylor with things well in hand.
Kirkendall and Perry both committing fouls here in their couple minutes on the floor. McComb misses a free throw for the first time today, now 8 for 9 at the stripe. Came in averaging 16 a game. If he had made both, he would have been right on that number, instead of 1 for 2 trip. Final minute of play here in Waco, as Drew Perry gives it up ahead. Kirkendall with an opportunity. Oh, the lay-in came up short. Williams nearly made the steal, but committed the foul on Jamison. You could feel the energy of Will Kirkendall the moment he caught the basketball.
Drew might have gotten an assist on that, too. He would have gotten them both on the box score. They're going to have another chance with 52 seconds to go.
Maybe you can tee him up for a 3 and put him on 100 even. That's the 4th foul of the day on Williams with these 51 seconds remaining.
Jamison, the leading scorer for the Spartans on the day. That is his 18th point of the afternoon. It's the second leading scorer on the season. 14 points per game is average.
Knocks them both down. More pressure here from Norfolk State. Robert Jones' team trying to utilize all 40 minutes of this one. 10 seconds.
Oh, a 10-second call.
Wow.
Yeah. So that backcourt pressure catches Baylor.
And Norfolk State steals the possession here with 42.7 to play. McComb finishes on the baseline. He's up to 17 points now on the afternoon. The trap, they're able to get it loose from it this time. Kirkendall up ahead for Ratai. Perry for three. High off the glass. Rebound tipped around. Williams has it taken away. McComb with the steal. Wow. With 24.3 left. And that's a fifth foul on Williams, and that will end his afternoon. McComb to the free throw line one more time. It'll be his 11th and 12th free throws of the day. And oh, by the way, the score may just end up at a particular number if he hits them both.
Oh, you think these school kids know it? They absolutely do.
Uh-oh. The anticipation at Foster Pavilion builds. Will Anthony McComb deliver?
That's great. One of the biggest cheers of the
67
day.
points for Norfolk State. And every kid in the building is going wild. And even better, it'll end that way.
Yeah.
97-67. The Baylor Bears will get a 30-point win, and Scott Drew's team will improve to 7-2 on the year.